Today we're going to start with pork knuckle and turn it into some simple steaks. These are always popular with the customers because they're very versatile. They can barbecue them, grill them, or turn them into their own casseroles. The most important thing today is to save all your trimmings off these and cut them into nice even steaks. Make sure you always take a face cut, like so. Save that for later because it'll go into another product. Trim any excess fat and silver off so they present a bit nicer. Cut some nice even steaks from across the whole pork knuckle. Nice even steaks. Make sure you don't throw that away because it comes in handy later on. And then we're just gonna make sure they're nicely trimmed. Nice and even on your display. Nice, simple, effective parsley for garnish. If your customers ask how to cook the perfect steak, tell them about the 6-2-2 method. 6 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other, and 2 minutes rest. Perfect steak every time. In this video, we'll teach you how to turn your pork rump into some simple mignons with some easy ingredients off your supermarket shelf for a nice, easy family dinner. First off, we're going to make the topping for our pork mignons. This is a cost-effective, simple way to add value to your pork products. So we're going to grab our cranberries, pop some of them in a bowl, bit of cream cheese, and we're just going to mix that up with our hands, make life a bit easier. So you're looking at about half a tub of cream cheese to about 4 mignons. Now to prep our pork. So what we're going to do is cut our rump in half, like so. Then in half again into quarters. And then we just want to shape them so that they're nice, consistent sizing. Remember, all your trim will be used later on. Now we get some streaky bacon. We're just going to wrap these with a toothpick. So the reason we add the bacon is for moisture. It adds flavour to the pork, and everybody loves bacon. So now we're going to go back to our cream cheese and cranberry mix. We're just going to roll it into some nice little balls, and then they're just going to go on top of our pork mignon. So there we have it. 25 minutes, 180. Beautiful, moist New Zealand pork. An easy family dinner using some quality New Zealand pork and some beautiful New Zealand bacon. In this video, we're turning a New Zealand pork silver side into an easy weeknight mini roast. Remove the eye, leaving excess skin either side so we can roll it up to a nice, easy roast. So we're going to grab our string, make sure your strings are nice and even the whole way across and straight. Now we're just going to cut the excess off the ends. Make sure to keep your scraps because they'll come in handy later. Now we're going to score it. Finish this one off, we're just going to cut it in half. Something as simple as this can add a lot of value for your customers for an easy midweek dinner. If a customer asks how to get the perfect crackle, 10 minutes at about 250 degrees and then lower the temperature to about 150 for 40 minutes. To make sure it's cooked through, check for an internal temperature of 71 degrees. In this video, we're going to utilise our pork butt fillet and make some pork pastries. We're going to add some cream cheese and some dried fruit to add a nice zingy flavour. Making pastries is an efficient way of turning a small amount of pork into a great family dinner. We're going to start off by slicing up our fillet nice and thin. So we're only cutting these about 2 mil thick, just so that they cook in time with the pastry. We'll pop those in our bowl. Now we'll add our ingredients. Today we're going to use some cream cheese and some dried cranberries. It doesn't have to be cranberries, but we had some left over that we needed to use up. You could use prunes, apricots, any dried fruit would be great. So you just want to give that a really good mix so that the cream cheese coats all the pork fillet. So now that we've got our mix, we're ready to make our pastries. We'll grab some flaky pastry and lay it out on our chopping board. Grab our pastry cutter, utilising as much of the pastry as possible. So for these, you're going to have a base and a top. Now we'll grab our cranberry, pork fillet and cream cheese mix. So you're looking for a nice good handful or just enough to fill the centre of these pastries. Now that we've done that, we're going to take our tops, just press it down so it's nice and even. Now to press these together, we're just going to grab a fork and crimp the edges. Then just take your fork, a couple of prick holes in the top, and you're good to go. These pork pastries will take about 20 to 25 minutes or until the flaky pastry is nice and golden. This is an efficient way to turn a small amount of pork into a great, no prep, no fuss family dinner. In this video, we're going to utilise our silver side eye and our rump cap to make some tasty pork kebabs. We're going to start off with the rump cap. Just remove any excess silver skin. And then do the same with the silver side eye. Once we've got to that point, we're going to grab our hand tenderizer and just stamp it out again. That'll make sure it's nice and tender for your customers. Now we'll just cut it into some cubes, ready for the skewers. We're just gonna pop in some seasoning. Today I'm using a Texan style barbecue, but you can use any flavour glaze you choose. A little bit of olive oil, then mix it up. So that all the pieces are nicely coated. Now time for the veggie prep. We're just going to cut some nice cubes of capsicum, a couple of different flavours. Make sure the size of your capsicum is similar to your pork so they cook evenly. So we're just separating the red onion so it's just a couple of pieces per skewer. Now we're ready to fry our kebabs. Skewer, piece of meat, capsicum, another piece of meat, piece of our red onion. We're aiming to get 5 or 6 kebabs out of these 2 cuts. Different colour capsicum. Finally, another piece of pork. These pork kebabs are a great summer cut because we can utilise them on the barbecue, under the grill or even in the fry pan. So it's a great way to utilise a cut that traditionally wouldn't be used as kebabs. So there we have it, some tasty New Zealand pork kebabs. Something the whole family will love, even the kids. In this video, we're going to turn a New Zealand pork topside into some Hawaiian pork cordon bleus. So we're going to start this off by making the filling to go inside our cordon bleus. So here we have some grated cheese, some crushed pineapple. We've drained that off so it's not so liquidy on the inside of our mixture, and some sliced ham which we're going to chop up and mix through the mixture. So we'll just get going and jump into it. So we'll start off, chuck in some cheese, grab our pineapple, try and make it as dry as possible. Then we're just going to thinly slice some champagne ham. Then we'll just give that a mix up. Just a nice tight mixture. You don't want it too liquidy, otherwise it's just going to ooze out of your centres. We might chuck some panko in there. So what we're going to do is just take a face cut. Don't forget, use that later on. Then we're just going to butterfly it open, some nice even pieces. So we're going to make sure they're all nice and even. Trim off any excess bits that we have to. Now we're going to take our hand tenderizer, go along, press out all our butterflied steaks. So now we're going to take our cheese, pineapple and ham mix, press it together so it's some nice sort of balls to go in the centre. So now what we want to do is roll these up. So how I do it is I usually try and fold the sides in and then start folding over. This is going to help trap your filling on the inside and make a nice even roll. So this is a nice, easy, convenient midweek meal for a customer. They can take it home. It takes about 25-30 minutes in the oven to bake, and then they've got a nice, tasty, easy dinner even the kids would love. Now we're going to get into our crumbing mix. 3 bowls, a couple of eggs. I'm just going to whisk them up. Bit of flour. Finally, our breadcrumbs. So panko crumbs are good because they're a lot coarser than normal golden fine breadcrumbs, and they create a nice crispy texture on the outside when they're baked. We're just going to flour these first, into our egg wash, into our pankos. So we're just going to finish it off with a nice little bit of parsley sprinkled over top, just to give it a bit of colour to break up the panko. 25 minutes, 180 degrees, baked till golden brown. The whole family will love these cordon bleus. As a butcher, we know these flavours work well together. From a customer's point of view, having it crumbed, ready to go in the oven, makes for a quick, easy, hassle-free dinner. Throughout these videos, we've kept our offcuts. Here's a couple of simple ideas to turn them into great value products. Over here, we have some Asian-inspired pork meatballs. Some simple ingredients like fresh chopped coriander, garlic and ginger add lots of flavour to the pork. Slicing up all our good offcuts into a simple pork stir fry, add in some veggies and you're ready to go. Chuck in a marinade to make it even easier for your customers.